Hello YouTube, welcome to Bub's World. Today we're going to do a CGC unboxing and I couldn't be more excited about this. This is a reholder of a book that I barely had in my collection. We'll get to that story in just a minute. So sit back, relax, and let's crack this sucker open.
You're watching Bub's Comics, Bub.
All right. So here's the story. It's a heartbreaker. I'm here to tell you, it's a rough one. So here's what happened. I was at Collector Summit in Dallas. I bought a book off a great friend, Spider Planet guy named Jared. Some of you may know him in the Instagram Golden Age community. Bought a book off him. It was a great deal. Couldn't turn it down. It's a book that I needed to continue my run, and the hardest book to find in that run, affordably especially. So long story short, I damaged the book. I was carrying it around at the convention. I had it the next day. I had it in my backpack like I carry all my books. I even have a pocket inside the bag, 4 slabs that has extra padding. It's like a laptop bag. And it was at the very front corner, the book cracked. And I don't know when it happened. I must have been walking with the bag on my shoulder and it tapped just right on like a door frame or something like that. Because I know I never threw the book on the ground. I never, I'm never careless with my stuff like that. So, but I did it. I mean, you can't say I didn't. So I was sitting at a table at the Collector Summit. And I was showing someone there. They said, "Oh, what'd you pick up?" So I was like, "Oh, I got this slab," and I showed it, and pieces of the corner was crumbling off. So I knew that it was going to be a mess, and my heart sank when I saw the book. The book was fine itself, but the slab was definitely cracked in the corner with a hole in it. It was so bad. I was like, "Okay, this is bad." So, of course, I'm looking right across from the table is CGC. And they had a booth there for the summit, which was a wonderful way to submit books because it wasn't crowded. There was just a few people there at any given time, plus the CGC attendance. So I said, okay, I guess this is going to be a $45 mistake. So I walked over there. I submitted the book. They were super nice to me. I took a couple of pictures of it just so I could remember. And they said, no problem. Now, the book had a couple of scuffs on it. Anyway, when I got it, it was already slabbed. So no big deal. We end up getting a little bit out of it anyway. And we'll, it's not a big problem. So, but yeah, isn't that a heartbreaker of a story? I'm telling you, it was just one of those things where you never can be too safe with your stuff. So you'll always spend more time, wishing you were if you make a mistake like I did. So, all right, here we go. CGC. Now they received it technically, they say, on the 13th of November. And okay, I received it the 13th of November. But well, this is different the way that they packaged that. I've not received one from CGC in a while, so I hadn't seen that packaging. I like that. They have, looks like cardboard that matches the size of a slab. So that's cool. It's got the bag. I already slipped out the packing slip. So that's cool. So anyway, it's a pretty good deal that they had going on there. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. All right, here it is. Here's the book. Strange Worlds number 4 from 1952, Superior Comics, and a 5.0. That is not an easy book, folks. I'm here to tell you. It's got some of my favorite stuff. Sci-fi. It's got that guy reaching around, giving the old reach around gun action there. Girl's working it there. She's clearly the bad gal. The Vampires of the Void, A Nation is Born, The Enchanted Dagger, The Lost Kingdom of Athala, and Girls in Tubes. which is the one I'm after. Of course, I think that might be a guy next to her, but we're not worried about that. Isn't that amazing? So, how was I able to get this book affordably? Well, my buddy, Jared, he bought this, and it's a Canadian edition. Now, it's not a reprint. So, I don't mind foreign editions, but I don't like reprints. So, I'm collecting Planet Comics run. In addition to this run, Strange Worlds, I'm trying to finish this run. And Golden Age runs are very difficult, Atomic Age, whatever you want to call them. Pre-code. So I have a bunch of Planet Comics, and people have offered me through the years some UK editions of Planet Comics. And the reason that I've turned them down is because the interior is black and white. It's the wrong number. So when you look at the cover, it'll have a different number than was published in the US. And sometimes the interior is even different. It's just the cover image, but it's basically a different book. And so for that reason, I'm out. To me, that's not filling the run. That's just collecting the cover, which is okay in some cases. But for me, I'm trying to work on a run. Now, the difference here is that this is the Canadian edition of the book. So it's the same book, everything's the same except the advertisements. It has the same number. It's Strange Worlds number 4. Everything's the same except the advertisements. But in the printing of it, they did make one slight variation to the color of the cover. In that, on the regular US edition, all this blue right here, all the sky is blue. And on the Canadian edition, it has this phase into the purple, which is quite nice, I have to say. So I actually like this better than the other cover. And it has a nice little date stamp on there. It says November 30th. So we're digging that. Date stamps, I love them, especially on the Golden Age or pre-code stuff. So there you go. I tell you, I will definitely do that again at the summit. I've already got some fingerprints on it. Shame on me. Shame on me. But I absolutely love it. Thank you to everyone that made this book possible. My wife actually coerced me and said she was going to throw some money in on it and everything to help me get it, because it was a big book and I didn't know if I wanted to spend all the money on it. And you know how it is when you're at a convention, when you see a big book and you're really excited to have it, and then you're like, wait a minute, but if I spend too much on this, then what if I see something else, right? So she was like, don't worry, I'll cover the cost, or part of the cost of this book. That way you can keep shopping, and if you see something else, then don't worry, and then we'll pay this one off separate. I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds good. So didn't end up having to do all that, so we appreciate that, but I wouldn't have got the book if she hadn't made that offer. So that was a big deal. So in the back here, of course, this has a different back than the American version. And the little box there is in drachma or whatever they use in Canada for money. So there you go. Strange Worlds number 4. I'm after the run. And this to me fits the bill. It's the Canadian edition, but it's still Strange Worlds number 4 with all the same interior except for advertisements. So to me, that fits the bill. This is the only instance in which I would take a foreign edition and put it in the run instead of the American edition. So there you go. And it's published at the same time, which matters to me as well. Sometimes the foreign editions are published years later from the original, but this has the same publication date. So that's pretty cool. There you go. Wally Wood cover, of course, if you couldn't tell. I'm a big Wally Wood fan. So, all right, that's it. And I hope you enjoy this, and just really, this is like it's like winning a major award. I can't explain to you how excited I am to own this book and to have it in the collection. It is skyrocketed to the very top row of all books that are in my collection. It's a huge deal to get this one. I absolutely love it. I don't think it's not technically the most expensive book in my collection, but it's just one. There's just certain books that you're like, I'm never going to find a good copy of that book at an affordable price. And then here I am holding it. So never say never, folks. All right. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. Remember to read a comic and don't apologize for the glare. Bye-bye.
Now subscribe, you egg-sucking pieces of gutter trash. Now.